I am live. Toggle the timestamps. How can I get rid of that box? Let's go to here. Control copy. Dun, 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 dun. Link to join. Delete. Control V. Highlight. Link. Enter. Edit. Settings. Open a new window. Update and update. Patience, patience, patience. There, view page. Hey everybody, come on in. Sorry, I'm running a tiny bit behind. Hey Gary, Cat here. I brought my several people. Awesome, Cat. You did warn him that I'm gonna give him nothing but bad ideas, right? Good. Hi Marie. Hi Mike. Joyce logging in for Bridge Over, getting our fix of Simon and Garfunkel today. I guess it's Paul Simon. Garfunkel was just there for window decorations. Hey Deborah. Hey Len. Let's see. Let me make sure that I got everything set up correctly on the other page. I got every time I'm running late, all you guys are hitting reload over and over, and then which is what you should be doing, and then I can't get in myself to do it. So, all right. Whoops. All right. Let's see. Hi, Renee. Hey, Marie. Fran. 88 degrees here. Gosh, yeah. It's getting to be summertime everywhere, isn't it? That's exciting. 88 degrees. Let's see. Bridge Over Trouble is the first album I ever bought. Laurel, that is awesome. That's a good story. Patty, how you doing? Husband, all you guys, all your families tuning in today? That's exciting. You warned them, right? You guys warned them about me. Let's see. How are we looking? I got some weird lighting as usual. Let's see if I can figure some of this out. Maybe I'll do this again. Is that worse or better? Maybe better. I don't know. Maybe worse. I don't know. You're hopefully not looking at me anyway. All right. Let's see. How we doing? Let's see. First album ever bought. I'm trying to think of what the first album I ever bought was. Well, it was a long time ago. That's pretty good that you remember, Laura. Let's see. Gail, hi, welcome. Come on in. Becky, good to see you. Logging in from Bozeman, Montana. Kay, fine. Where you been, Kay? What the heck, man? Having this every single day. What are you doing? Goofing off up there in Loveland. Hey, Jerry, how you doing? Barb. Hoping some of my campfire girlfriends will join us today from around the country. Awesome. That's exciting. I love it that you guys are letting people know that this is going on. Let's see. Christine. Hey, Red, just FYI, Nikki and I are going to be getting together. You might want to send me an email about what I need to know about that. Let's see. Tuning in. Funny, Mike, you're hilarious. Hey, Violet. By the way, Violet, we started watching that thing on Michael Jordan and the Bulls, and I'm not a huge basketball fan, but back in the 80s, I, of course, remember the run of Michael Jordan, and I never quite understood why he was so much better than everybody else, but everybody else is saying quite clearly he's way better than we were, so that's cool. Mike Amberg joining in today. How exciting. Good to see you. I know, Laurel. That was my joke on today's email. Those of us from the day still have our LPs. When my father passed away, he must have had 10,000 LPs in his house, and they all went in the can. So yeah, let's see. Oh, you're here, but don't always comment. Well, why not? Why not? Come on, let's see. Bruce, welcome in. 86. See, I think Fran has you beat by 2 degrees. Hey, Arlo, welcome in. Barbara, Silver City. Oh, you and Alan gonna create a big whirlwind down there in Silver City. Glad you're here. Mel coming in from British Columbia. Good, glad to see you. Manette, coming on in. How are you today? Leslie, back again. Christine, welcome. Annie, Deborah, I love my parents' LPs, including John. Yeah, my dad used to. They had those big console stereos, and he would listen to Neil Diamond and all those. Later, more 70s music, I think, than 60s. But yeah. Glenview, Illinois. Barbara, welcome in. Glad you're here. That's exciting. All right, guys, it's 4:35. Loving the new RMU. Where are the shirts? I know, right? I remember us doing that, making that logo with the flower power on it years ago. I don't even remember why we made it. And I had this vague recollection. I think I have a flower power RMU logo. So I went looking through the depths of my computer, and sure enough, there I was. So that was saved me a whole bunch of time this morning. Let's see. Linda, I am here. Read about a guy in New York who plays his accordion every night on the stoop at Howland Time. Maybe you know what's interesting? Here in my apartment, across the hall and down a few floors, Bill, who also joins us once in a while for these broadcasts, he's top shelf musician. He's been pulled out his trumpet, which he's not a regular trumpet player, but he pulled it out, and so every night he's been playing trumpet in the whole neighborhood. On the Nextdoor app has been saying, "Whoever's playing that trumpet, thank you." And so every night at 8:00 he's been playing it. Tonight he told Donna, my wife, that he was going to play Sweet Caroline. So we're going to go stand out in the street tonight and listen to him play Sweet Caroline on the trumpet. Kathy, welcome back. Diane, ready for the 60s. Let's see. Susan, glad you're here today. Yeah, Mike, on the top of the email that went out today, I put the tie-dye RMUO logo on there for fun. And so that's what they're talking about. Spearzo in from Houston. Welcome. All right, guys. So we got 2 sets, right? Most of you guys are probably here for the Bridge Over Troubled Waters, but that's comes second. Okay, so if you are a hardcore, already know everything there is to know about ukulele, you can hang out and I don't know, sip your Mai Tai or whatever you're doing. If you are newer, you are in the right place. We're starting the first part of the class is always a little bit easier stuff, and the second part of the class is always a little bit harder stuff. And you guys should have in front of you the song Frere, Jacques, and why I'm digging it out, I don't know, because it turns out that I happen to know how to play that one. Of most of the songs I don't really know how to play. I'm just faking it. But that one I actually do know how to play. And so I'd like to talk to you about a different way of playing ukulele, and what we typically teach in ukulele is using this instrument as accompaniment to singing, and that is perfectly legitimate. There's 100,000 different instruments out there, and this one happens to specialize in backing up your singing voice, and we sing it when we use it like that. Unfortunately, I don't sing, and so no. Fortunately for most everybody, I don't sing. And what I want to do, I got to move my microphones here. Sorry, I'm looking like I'm fishing around for something. What we want to be doing, what I want you to think about is that there are multiple ways to approach this instrument, and all of our sheet music is set up the same exact way. It's all set up so that you can play it in whatever way makes you happiest. And so if for some of you, if it's singing and using it as a backup to singing, all the sheet music I put out is really designed to do that. It's designed to be really carefully thought through. You know, when you go around the internet looking for your favorite songs and you download these, sometimes the chords are right, sometimes they're not, and they're kind of a mess a lot of times. I try to really avoid that, because when I started in ukulele, there was none of that. And then as it started to come online, it was always garbage. And so I started writing my own sheet music, and I'm pretty proud of the stuff that we put out here, both me and the other people in the Rocky Mountain Ukulele Orchestra. And so what we sort of specialize in is quality over quantity. Like, you can get stacks and stacks of sheet music. That's not hard to find. Finding decent sheet music for the ukulele is quite a bit more difficult. And so also, most of the books out there that you can buy are not really well done. Mostly it's guitar players that have worked for the company for a long time, and they're like, oh, ukulele's popular, here, write a ukulele book. And so it's very obvious when you are a ukulele forward thinker and you're looking through a lot of these ukulele books, you're like, yeah, a guitar player wrote this book. And so I just want you to be aware that what we're trying to do is treat this instrument as good enough, that it is everything. We don't need necessarily any other instruments to go with it, and that you can play this in lots of different ways. First thing I want to do is talk to you about some real fundamental things with how you approach this instrument as an instrumental piece of equipment. And then everything I teach you as an instrumental instrument will also apply to you singing and strumming it. So I'm not going to teach you anything wrong. I am going to teach you a whole lot right that nobody else is going to probably talk to you about. If you are in really, if you are anywhere but a handful of cities in this country, and frankly in this world, most of the ukulele instruction going on out there is very rudimentary. And so hopefully you're here to get to to a new level. And that's really what both a lot of these people on the list over here have been involved with me for a while, and then a lot of these people I don't know at all. What we're trying to do is take this instrument, make it possible to play it in every possible way, so that you as a performer, or you as a guy sitting in your basement with your cat, can get the most out of it possible. And also, the other thing I know, because I teach guitar poorly, is that a lot of times if we teach you how to do chords and singing, you will learn whatever songs happen to be popular that year, and then you will quit, and then you won't come back to it for 20 years. I get guitar players all the time who say, yeah, I bought this guitar in the 70s because I liked Simon and Garfunkel, and I played those songs out of that one songbook I bought for about 6 weeks, and then I quit, and then now 20 years has passed and I'm here to actually learn how to play guitar again. So we don't want that to happen to you with ukulele. This is too awesome of an instrument to let that happen. And so the way we avoid that is give you some legit skills, and some skills that are truly musical skills that will transfer, that will give you a lifetime of aggravation. You won't run into any moment when you're like, I have this thing mastered, I don't need to know anything else. And Mike over here, Charbonneau, he's got it mastered. Everybody else needs to do some more work. So let's see. I want to just say hi to a couple more people who just walked in. Patricia Moore from Texas, glad you're here. Frere is fun to improvise. Tough you. Yeah, right. Actually, we'll talk about that. You memorized Frere Jacques. Nice. Okay. Linda, welcome in. All right. So let's get started. First thing I want to do is make sure you're holding the ukulele correctly. The back of this flat up against your belly. Okay. That's where this goes. What I don't like is when people lift it up to see what they're doing. So I want that there. You'll notice I'm wearing a strap. By the time you get good at playing ukulele, you're going to need a strap too, because you're going to be using both hands to do stuff, and it's going to be hard to hold on to your ukulele. So if you don't have a strap on your ukulele, get one on there. It's actually relatively straightforward. You can, if you're in Denver, you just bring it to me and I put a button on here. But if you're not in Denver, you need to, when you buy the strap, it'll generally come with one of these little buttons. You got to drill a tiny pilot hole in the end of your ukulele and screw that on, and then this goes on this side, and then this is tied on with a string over here. So that's what's going on there. Please don't buy the strap that has a clip here. That is not a good thing. So don't get one of those. And so you see where I'm at, right? If I let go of the ukulele, it's not going anywhere, and I don't have to worry about it falling. Second thing is that I keep it at about a 60-degree angle. If you have watched too many YouTube videos, they all play this way and their thumb is sticking way up here. And I want you to stop doing that before you start, because this is the only habit that I see that people get started that they have a hard time fixing down the road. This will get in your way later on. This thumb here was going to cause you to have to work harder, and you don't want to do that. So let's talk about where this thumb goes. If this is at a 60-degree angle, this thumb is back here where I don't see it. Pad of the thumb on the back of the neck, that's where it goes. Stays there all of the time. Wherever your middle finger is, your thumb's going to hang out right behind your middle finger. Okay, so wherever that goes, that's what's going on there. If I could fix anything in ukulele dumb, it would be that. Hold the ukulele like this, put your thumb here, and now we can talk about playing music. Okay, I just see a lot of people fighting ukuleles for no reason at all, and it's because they're not holding it properly. Okay, don't try not to get this when you're stressed out and you're playing and your shoulders go up. Also, probably you're sitting at your kitchen table, right, and you're going to be leaning over your sheet music, and that's going to give you a bunch of stress on your back. So I do recommend getting a music stand as quickly as possible, and do it. Okay. All right. So I spent some of your money. I spent you on a strap, and I got you a music stand. All right. Let's start talking about the ukulele itself. It has 4 strings on it. Hopefully, you know how to tune it. If you don't know how to tune it, you're going to need to learn how to tune it, because if you ask anybody, how often do you tune your ukulele? The answer is every single time. There is no time when you will not need to tune your ukulele. It's if a dog barks down the street, it throws it out of tune. And so you want to own one of these. It's called a snark. If your ukulele came with something cheap and different than a snark, it's okay. It'll break pretty soon. It wears out batteries. It's not accurate. When it's time, go on to Amazon and get the very most expensive snark that you can purchase. It's about $18, called a SST8, I think, SN8, chromatic all instrument tuner. Click it on the end, turn it on. This is a G sound. You guys should check yours. Are you about that? Here's a C sound. Here's the E sound. And here's the A sound. If you are new to my program, go to jollyrogerukulele.com and click on the ukulele tab, and it has all of the stuff we're going to be working on in proper order. And then one of the very first sheets on there is how to tune your ukulele. George Clooney eats apples. We're bringing George Clooney back. He is not famous anymore, you guys, and so we're as ukulele players, we're gonna keep him famous. All right, so now you're in tune. Now you're holding it properly. Now your thumb is where it's supposed to be. Next thing that I want you to do, whether you're new to this or whether you've been around for a while, is we need to memorize how to play Frere Jacques. I'm going to play it for you first, and then you're going to come back and we're going to break it down into pieces and play it. Okay, here's how it's going to go. That's it. That's what we're going to do. If you're new to playing tablature, if you're new to playing melody on ukulele, this is the most important lesson that I can give you. Okay. If you've been around a ukulele a while and all you've done is strumming, then you've got a new activity to learn. So plucking this Frere Jacques, I've taught it to 100% of ukulele players I've taught, and that's getting into the thousands these days, guys, and it works. It absolutely works. Now, let's see who else we got in here. I'm going to keep peeking over here. I see all this activity going on. It's very exciting. Dora from New York, welcome in. Love to have you here. Alan in from Brighton, love to have you here. Better late than not at all. Lindy, get your get your act together and get here on time. And Ellen in from Massachusetts. How exciting. Love to see you guys from the East Coast. Now, we're going to break this down. Look at your sheet music. On your sheet music, you've got quarter note equals 80. That means play it kind of slow. If it was 120, 100 to 120 is sort of the normal. 80 is kind of slow. If it said 140, that's pretty fast. So 80 is kind of slow. We're not in a big hurry. Next thing under that, you see melody, and then you'll see the little treble clef, and then you'll see those hashtags. For ukulele players who don't have prior music experience, you can absolutely straight up ignore the sheet music for the most part. There is one piece of information you're going to get off of it eventually, but not today. And so the treble clef and the pound signs, don't worry about those. The one thing that is important is it says 4/4. That number on the top, that 4, is very important. That tells you there's going to be 4 beats in every measure. And measures there are 8 measures on this song, and they are all divided up by vertical lines. Okay. Then you're going to see an A chord, which is here. We're going to get to that in a second. And then you're going to see the notes. Okay. Underneath that, you see the ukulele line. That's the line that matters. And so here's how we read that. It is showing you on the first string, which is the string farthest away from your face. And by the way, that is super annoying when you first meet it, because the string on the top of your paper is the string on the bottom of your ukulele. And so in order to make it make sense, you have to hold your ukulele up like this, and all of a sudden the string and the paperwork line up. That's so you can check what you're doing. Then you put it down and play it normal. Okay. So we're going to only play on this first string. On your paper, it's the top string. That's string number 1. Underneath that, there's 3 more lines, and those are for these other strings. Okay. The 0 means play it open. The 2, we're going to play, use your middle finger on that one. Play a 2. Pinky is going to play your 4, and then play it open again. Let's do that a few times. Open, 2, 4, open, open, 2, 4, open, open, 2, 4, open, open, 2, 4, open, open, 2, 4, open. Jerry's question over here is, hey, if I'm not going to use my thumb, which finger should I use? You probably want to start with these 2 fingers, index and middle. Open, middle. Let me start again. Okay, so this business of getting these 2 guys a little bit open and doing what they're doing, just alternate them between notes. It's a great practice routine. You can even add in your 3rd finger if you want. So that you can get practice getting independence on those. That is a skill that's probably, when you get to advanced level type playing, that you are going to need to have, and you're going to need to be using that. Obviously on these slower, more introductory songs, thumb is perfectly fine over here. Also notice when I'm playing, if I'm plucking with this, I have a tendency to come down here over the hole because I need to get out of the way of the fretboard. But if I'm using my thumb, I have a tendency just to pluck right up here where the neck and the body come together. The prettiest sound probably from your ukulele is going to come right here at fret number 12. And so that's why I do a lot of work up in that space. Okay. All right. So now you've met 0240, 0240. The only thing that I want to caution you against is please don't just use your index finger. Don't do this. That will slow you down, which is not something that's going to be beneficial in any way. It also has the potential to cut your finger open as you're sliding it up and down on this string. And I have had that happen one time in a very strange situation. So we don't want to cut your finger open. We want you to be using different fingers. Now, in this case, I'm recommending using your 2 for the middle finger on the 2 and the pinky finger on the 4, because it's going to teach you an activity that we're going to do on some of the other songs. Okay. Now, so we learned those first 2 measures, 0240 and then 0240 again. Now we're going to slide up. We're going to put our index finger on 4. Now notice your frets, 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice fret number 5 has a dot on it. 6, 7, fret has a dot on it. Probably you've got a dot on fret number 10 and probably something on 12. So usually, sometimes, not always. Okay. The other place, sometimes they'll put dots on the side of your ukulele. So check and see if you've got dots up there. Those are actually super handy. We're going to go to 4th position. That's your 4th fret. We're going to pluck that, and then a middle finger on 5, and then ring finger on 7. Let's do it for a few times. 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7. Index, middle, pinky, index, middle, pinky. Okay. That's that next 2 measures. That's measures 3 and 4. Now let's go to measures 5 and 6. Here's where this is the hard part of the song. Okay. We're going to start with your ring finger on 7. We're going to pluck that, 7. Then we're going to use your pinky finger on 9. Then we're going to go back to your ring finger for a 7. Then we're going to go to middle finger for 5, index finger for 4, and then play it open. Okay. Ring, pinky, ring, middle, index, open. Again. Ring, pinky, ring, middle, index, open. Ring, pinky, ring, middle, index, open. Ring, pinky, ring, middle, index, open. 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, oh. Okay, so that's that section. When we get to it, the first few times we play through it, we'll play through it at half speed so that you have time to get all your fingers in shape. When we play through it the last time, we'll play it at full speed so you can see that it really is kind of the hard part. Last chord, last 2 measures, 7 and 8. Notice you get something super exciting on the paperwork. You get to use the 2nd string. So you can play 1st string open, 2nd string open, 1st string open, 1st string open, 2nd string open, 1st string open. Okay. One of the things that teaching to a computer laptop is very rewarding because I am positive you're playing perfectly and you're making no mistakes because I could just tell, right? If you're struggling with this, and you're new to plucking tablature, you should be struggling with this. This is sight reading, right? This is tough stuff right off the bat. So whether you can do it or not is not important. Whether you know what you're supposed to do is what we're trying to get to. Okay. I'd like to play through the whole song. We're going to play when we get to measures 5 and 6. Those of you who have done this song before or with prior music knowledge, you got to play it at half speed at measure 5 and 6. And then we're going to do that a few times and then we'll play it at full speed. Okay. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 2, 4. Oh, 2, 4. Oh, 4, 5, 7. 4, 5, 7. 7, 9, 7, 5, 4. Oh. 7, 9, 7, 5, 4. Oh. 1st string, 2nd string, 1st string, 1st string, 2nd string, 1st string. Okay, so you know what you're supposed to do. You see it on the paper. Whether you can actually do it or not isn't important right now. Okay, you get better by practicing. We'll talk about how much you should practice in just a minute. Okay. One more time, same exact way of playing it. 1, 2, ready, play. Oh, 2, 4. Oh, 2, 4. Oh, 4, 5, 7. 4, 5, 7. 7, 9, 7, 5, 4. Oh, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4. Oh, 1st string, 2nd string, 1st string, 1st string, 2nd string, 1st string. Beautiful. Okay, that's the idea. How much should you practice that? You should practice it How much should you practice? Okay. And I always make a joke about this. Okay. So probably what we want in the beginning is 15 minutes a day ish, about how much practicing you should do. When you get really into ukulele, you will split it off into crazy people and not so crazy people. My crazy people, whom I love, by the way, will practice a couple hours a day, right? For my normal people, they'll practice a couple hours a week. Okay, so this is not an instrument where I want you practicing thousands of hours a week. It's just not healthy, and it's not sane. This is not that type of instrument. This is supposed to be a fun thing, and so probably start off with about 15 minutes a day. My real message is practice for 1 minute every day. That's the hard part, right? I just need you to sit down for 1 minute every day and get in that habit of sitting down with your ukulele and your sheet music in front. It turns out that's going to be way harder than you'd think. So if I can get you just to sit in the chair with your ukulele in hand, the sheet music in front for 1 minute, you're probably going to be there 15-20 minutes. That's perfect for practicing. Okay, when you first start. When you're getting ready for a concert, you should practice a lot. Okay, until then, 15-20 minutes a day. If you're serious and you want to get really good, probably going to take you 45 minutes a day, something like that. Okay, all right, let's play the song at regular tempo. Okay, so we're going to play through there. When we get to measures 5 and 6, we've been playing those at half speed. Let's play those as written. Okay, so they're going to feel twice as fast. So one of the things that's beautiful about music is you can, if you've got a fast part coming up, you can slow down the part before that. So you got a possibility of shooting 100% when you get through to the fast part. Nice and steady. 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 2, 4, 0, 0, 2, 4, 0, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. First string, second string, first string. First string, second string, first string. Beautiful. Okay, so Jackie, welcome. Bob, finally in. Practice till your fingers bleed. Bob's a lunatic. Okay, now that's what we want to do when we're playing tablature. I have hundreds, possibly thousands of pieces of sheet music all written out in tablature with a single line melody. And the idea behind this is that this is how, back in the day when they had fretted instruments, this was how music was translated from lute player to lute player, was through tablature, and it was through exactly this system that you have in front of you right here. It was started let's call it 15th century, but solidly by the 17th century. And we've been playing this system ever since. So I didn't think this up, but it's just a miraculous system for this instrument and for all fretted instruments, that you don't really have to know a ton about how to read sheet music. You just have to be able to know which string to pluck and what fret to hold down, and you're going to get the song out of it. Okay, let's talk about one other way of playing. That's the way that I want you to play. That's the project that you're going to be working on when you're hanging out with me. The other way is the way normal people play it, which is you're going to take an A chord. Okay, that's your index finger right there and your middle finger right there. Okay, double checking. Third string, first fret, index finger. Fourth string, second fret, middle finger. That's your A chord. Okay, if you will look on the sheet music and you hold up, there's 2 black dots right where your fingers are down right now, and that's what you want. Okay, all right. This is how normal people play. Okay, if you are new, thumb down. Frere, Jacques, Frere, Jacques. Okay, that's what you're gonna do. Okay, if you are fancier and you're working on getting your claw in shape, Frere, Jacques, Frere, Jacques. If you're really trying to get it together, Frere, Jacques, Frere, Jacques, do, mi, do, do, mi, do. Okay, so those are your right hand things that you're working on. Okay, I would like for you to strum the chords while I play the melody. Okay, this is what you're doing at your house there in Massachusetts or Texas or San Diego or wherever you happen to be. Go find somebody who has a ukulele. You want them to strum and you to play the melody. Okay, you're going to play 4 strums for every measure. So it's going to be Frere, Jacques, Frere, Jacques. Now, when I get to measure 3 and I have to say do, me, vo, you have to go ahead and strum an extra beat, even though the melody is not going on. The beat is still going on. So you got to strum your beat. And then when I get to measures 5 and 6, where I go Sonele Martinez, you're going to strum every other note. Sonele Martinez, Sonele Martinez. So make sure you're strumming 4 beats in each measure, not strumming along with the melody. That's the hard part. That's the hard lesson here. Okay, I can't hear you, so I'm positive you're going to play it perfectly. Okay, I'm going to play the melody. You're going to strum the chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. I bet you got 100%. Okay, beautiful. I did that to show you this. Ukulele's still making noise. I'm still holding my chord. Don't ever let up on your last chord. Just hold on to it and let the ukulele ring out. It's going to sound way better. All right, that's Frere Jacques. You've learned how to play the A chord. You've learned how to hold the ukulele. You've learned how to tune the ukulele. You've learned how to play tablature. You have plenty of work to keep you busy if you're brand new to ukulele. If you've been around a while, you're like, I don't need to sit through that. Teach it to somebody else. Teach it to somebody else. Go sit somebody down and make them learn. Okay, we got to get more instrumentalists playing. One of the things that's happening in ukulele, it's happened since I started playing 20 years ago, is that there's this basic assumption that your chords are the most important thing and that you're going to sing. And 80% of the people who pick this thing up are not interested in singing at all. And that's why we owe it to them as people who are further on down the food chain, that we're going to help them understand, hey, there are other, you've got options in how to play this machine. And frankly, if you're not a singer, you have a tremendous journey ahead of you on how to play this instrumentally. So let's see, I'm trying to find the song we're working on. Bridge Over Troubled Water, I think, is the one we decided we're going to do today. Let's now switch gears. Okay, that's the introductory stuff. For some of you, that's plenty, right? You can hang out, you can go home, right? For those of you who came in for the more advanced stuff, well, let's get started on that. We are going to be doing one song each, one song, all 5. How many days do we do? 5 days until Thursday, and then we'll have our Friday concert. And by the way, last Friday, I thought I played okay on the ukulele part, and then I was so beat I just completely blew the guitar lesson that I have after this. So you guys broke me. So there we go. Hey Cindy. So what we want to do is start talking about Bridge Over Troubled Waters. We want to talk about some songs from the 60s. I still don't have my computer back from the shop, so I just grabbed some stuff out of the cloud that I knew was in pretty good shape. So you got Bridge Over Troubled Water and Laura's theme. Both of those were written in the late 60s. Beautiful tunes, absolutely lovely, and hopefully that will give you guys plenty to keep you busy for the next couple of days. I've got 3 others on the list. I can't Downtown, can't help falling in love with you. I don't remember what the 3rd one was, but anyway, they're all good songs. They're all really beautiful melodies. They sound really beautiful on the ukulele. You're going to have a great time with all of them. So I hope that you can join us every single day this week. We got a good crowd today, 55 people today, which is exciting. And by the way, tell people what you're doing. I'm telling you, this is the secret weapon. Reading tablature and being able to play note for note out of this stuff, being able to strum it and sing it if you want, being able to pluck the straight line melody, getting together with a friend, you can't do that yet, but when they let us out of the houses again, some you float down Florida and they're letting you out. I don't know, Georgia maybe. You're going to get somebody playing chords, you playing melody. It's going to be a tremendous evening. And then of course the tough uke, which is what most of you guys are here, or not most of you, a lot of you guys are here studying that and getting where you're playing chord and melody at the same time. So let's run through this. I want to talk very briefly about the chords. I am not going to pretend to sing this. I'm aware that I am up against Simon and Garfunkel, and that would be a tragedy to listen to me try to sing this thing. But some of you are good singers, and so please, knock yourself out. The chords here are very straightforward. There's nothing fancy here at all. You got C chords, F chords. Notice in measure 4, you do have a B flat. Okay, we've talked about B flat a lot. What I want is for you to do a bar, melody, a full bar, middle, and ring. That's what I want. Okay, and you're going to sound like this. Okay, until for now, right? That's how you play it. Okay, there'll come a day when it comes together. Okay, a lot of us will go ahead and do just a half bar on a B flat. Perfectly fine as well. Okay, this will be better. This is okay. Okay, that's your B flat. A lot of you guys come into ukulele going, oh God, I don't know how to avoid B flat. And I don't want you to avoid B flat. I want you to play it terrible until you can play it good. Well, all right. You got an A minor in there. That's again. Notice on measures 12, there's a C chord. This goes to a C7. Very common sort of transitional thing in pop music. Measure 14 and a half, you've got a D chord. Make sure index, middle, ring. If you're having a hard time getting all of your fingers into that D chord, you need to have too small of a ukulele probably. And so you probably need to have the next size up. If you're an adult and you have normal size hands, you should be playing a tenor ukulele. If your fingers are a little bit shorter than mine, and then in concert might make some sense. Very few adult players need to play a soprano ukulele. You see, I often play one on these broadcasts just because I have one and I love it and it's cute and fun, but it's not really recommended. Okay, next page. Let's see if I can get my foot pedal going here. You've got an A7 over at measure 17. Again, not terribly complicated chord stuff. You do have an E7 sitting in halfway through measure 18. Okay. And I think, if I remember right, that's about it. Well, there is a D7 down at measure 27. Looking at that chord. And that's about it, I think. Oh, down at measure 47, you've got an F major 7. We're going to talk about measure 47 when we get there as a tough uke issue, because it's actually far more complicated than you want it to be. And then, of course, we finish out with 50 through the end. And again, you'll notice, those of you guys who've been around the last few weeks, the chord on the top, like look at measure 52, for example, on page 4. You'll see those are your chords if you're singing like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind. Those are the chords if you're singing. But when you're playing instrumentally, you're going to be dealing with the chords down there on the bottom of the paper. And so on the tough uke line, which are far more interesting, far more complex, and frankly super cool. It shows Paul Simon's skill, the fact that he's got this F followed by F major 7 followed by a D7 followed by a C. That is just beautiful, beautiful chord progressions. That takes somebody who knows what they're doing to create stuff like that. And you'll see when we get there how beautiful it is. Okay, so chordally, you guys have been, if you're a singer, I sang through this a half a dozen times. I think it works really lovely, and I think you'll be happy with your result. Now, for the rest of us, we are not singers, and so let's go through. Let's play through the melody. I will comment on a couple of issues here, and then I will clean it up. Let's see. Such good advice as always, Bob. Let's see. Louise, welcome. Hi, Gary, and everyone from Talent, Oregon. Nice. My niece is from Oregon. She lives with me now. I want to murder her most days, not every day, but no, she's lovely, and I wish I had more talent, Oregon. By the way, great conversation. How much talent do you have to play music? this much. Okay, I get people all the time. I have no musical talent. I can't play music at all, and then they spend 6 weeks with me and they're playing just fine. You don't have to have any talent to play music. You have to have effort. You have to put in the time. In order to get to the top shelf, you probably need some talent. Probably. I think this jury's still definitely out on that. But to become a very fine musician, you don't really need talent. You need hours behind your instrument, and you need lessons, and you need work, and you need time. That's what you need to become a musician. And talent, this whatever innate thing you're born with, as you guys have probably figured out, I don't have any of it, and I'm having a great time with ukulele. So please don't think talent is a prerequisite for making music. I've been hanging around ukulele players for 20 years, and I can tell you, not too many of them have a ton of talent. Okay, a lot of them have really hard work. Okay, and a few of them don't even have that. Mike has a couple of beers and he knows how to play. So that's I'm picking on Mike today for some reason. Talent is a dose of potential, but results come from the application. There we go. There's Joyce. And by the way, Joyce is a genius, so you should listen to her. It's a little bit of talent. Go give you potential, right? Just get you. Yeah, maybe, but really, it's all about putting in the time. Music, I think, more than anything, will divide people up by how many hours they put in, and so please, talent is not something you need to worry about. Okay, work is what you need to worry about. And here, let's get to work on this song. Ukulele melody line, that's the one note at a time tablature. Okay, we're going to start on there. I want to point out one thing I did, which was iffy at best. Measure 2, you will see 2 notes in parentheses. Okay, what I did there, this song ends up being 6 pages long if I don't do this one little goofy thing, and it's still 4 pages long, which is way too long. But in popular music, especially music from the 60s, what they would do is they would sing it one way, then they'd sing it almost exactly the same way again, and then almost exactly the same way, and then almost exactly the same way. The Beatles were classic for this. They would sing it, the song, the main idea 6 times, and every single time they change it just a little bit, where you had to have another page of sheet music in order to do it exactly the way they did it. And so and you end up with all these repeats all over the paper and all this stuff. And so this is another situation where this main idea here gets repeated mostly, but there's a little bit of a change up here in measure 2. So the first time through, you're going to not play those notes in parentheses. The second time through, you will play the notes on the parentheses. Okay, so when you're weary, feeling small, that's how you play it the first time through. The second time, when you're down and out, when you're on the street, that's what you're going to do the second time. Okay, so the parentheses are depending on which verse you're on. Okay, attitude is way more important than aptitude. All right, Michael, spouting the platitudes. All right, here we go. We're going to do one note at a time, and I got a couple other notes here. Not much of a genius here. Haha. Yes, you are, Joyce. If you lived during the Mesozoic, good for you. Glad you're here. And Alan, measure 54, RIT, retardando. Does that mean slow down? Yeah, Alan, you're way ahead of us. Measure 54 has the word RIT on it. Means retardando, means slow it down. Okay, but let's do measure 1 first. All right, play along with me, and I'll probably have to hum in order to get the general sense of the song. So if you hear, just know I'm trying to keep us in together. Okay, I'm going to count in 3, and then we're going to pluck one note at a time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's stop right there very quickly so I can just mention the sheet music issue here. Measure 11. when times get rough. You'll notice above those notes there's a little bracket with a 3. You're squishing all 3 of those quarter notes into the space of 2 quarter notes. So when you get to that place, just play them a little faster and they'll sound fine. Oh, when times get rough. And you notice they're singing that little phrase there. You're just going to play it more quickly on your strings. Okay, let's go to measure 13. I'm going to count in 4. Then we're going to have a 1 beat rest, and we're going to keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. Measure 18, rest. Two, and then you got a big long note there. Okay, so I messed up measure 21 a tiny bit, but it's just because I messed up, not because it's hard to play. Notice if you probably when you're first attacking a song, you want to have a highlighter in your hand, and you want to put a little bit of highlighter on measure 21 there. What that's going to do is send your eye a message. Hey, measure 21, something's about to happen. And what's happening there is you're getting the first repeat. I got a really big. Sorry, that reflection is driving me bananas. All right, you are entering the first repeat at measure 21. So just when you get to measure 21, note that when you come back the second time through, you're not going to play 21 through 24. You're going to jump to the second ending, which is a measure 25. Okay, so we played the whole thing. When we get to the end of 24, we go back and we play that section again. We're not going to do that. Just know that you're going to go back to the beginning. You're going to play all the way down through measure 20, skip 21, 22, 23, and 24, and then you're going to finish up playing 25 to the end. Okay, so let's go to measure 25. And it'll be troubled water. Okay, from 25, 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, measure 38, and 1. Okay, we'll stop there for just a second. Musical notation. Measure 51 has that eyeball looking at you. Measure 51 is saying, hey, we're going to hold this note longer than we usually do. How long? As a solo player, you get to decide. Okay, whenever you see that fermata that's sitting there at measure 51, that says we're going to hold this for a while. And if you're a soloist, you get to decide how long that is. Otherwise, the leader of your group gets to decide that. And this is one of those power trips that we get into as conductors. You're like, all right, I'm going to make this fermata super long or super short or medium, or I'm going to ignore it altogether. That's my favorite. Is I got a few people in our orchestra that insist that a fermata be longer, and that's not at all what it means. It means look at the conductor. He's going to tell you when to get started going in, or she is going to tell you when to get started. So generally speaking, you hold that note a little longer, but you don't have to, right? It's up to you. You're the performer, or the conductor, or the leader of your group. Use that fermata to be very all powerful for just a moment. Okay, then let's go on. Let's just take those last two notes like a bridge. Okay, I'll count in 2 and then we'll play from that 7. 1, 2. And then that RIT there, which is Alan was asking about earlier, means slow down. Okay, and that's how you're going to end it. Now, those of you who memorized this song back in the 70s do know that you have, when we take a full band and we squish it down onto a ukulele, we make certain compromises. And one of those is some of these 60s guys would just go on for an hour and a half after these things. So there's a time crunch that we just get rid of it, right? And make it go away. Okay, so that's the melody. And if you were playing with somebody and they only knew how to play their chords, you'd be fine. You're going to play that part. They're going to play the chords. 4 beats per measure, 4 beats for chord for the most part. Like measure 4, they got a big problem, right? But for the most part, 1, 2, 3, 4. They just do this nice, beautiful strum, and you play the melody, and everybody is happy. Okay, now here we go. 523. Let's work our way through it. We're going to play through the whole thing one time, not at speed. We'll stop and talk about stuff. Friday is the day that you got to have this song ready. Flower Children, You Owe Me, Simon and Garfunkel, Bridge Over Troubled Water. Perfect. Okay, so you got all week to work on it. All right, so let's go through. As we've talked about often, grab this first chord and see how far it's going to get you. Okay, I'm going to play with my thumb down. Okay, that's my safe zone. That's when I arrange music. I like thumb down because I think it just brings a lot of music out of the ukulele. But if you're working on next level stuff, if you know down the road you want to be the best ukulele player in your neighborhood, in your state, in the world, you are going to be needing to get good at the claw. Okay, so you would be thinking about. That's what you're thinking about. Okay, if you're new to Tough Uke, if you're newer to playing chord melody, just doing your thumb down is going to work just fine. In fact, it's probably going to sound prettier. Okay, because that's when I'm arranging stuff. That's how I'm thinking. I always think I want it to sound pretty. I don't really, I'm not trying to create some sort of new genre of weird ukulele. I'm trying to create beautiful music that sounds great when you're at home by yourself. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so let's give it a try. We'll see how far it gets us. I noticed the first 2 notes are a 1, even though my first chord is a C, so I'm probably just going to grab that 1 to get started. Okay, let's go nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, strum, 2, oh. Now let that ring for a while. Here's an extra strum. 1, 3, strum. Extra note. Strum, oh, B flat, F, C. 3, F chord. Oh, oh, strum, oh, oh. Stop you just there before we turn the page. Every single chord shape there I just did was something that we had been working on over the last few weeks, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you got them, right? Because they're in a different order than that we may have played them on some of the other songs. And so as I'm going through here and I'm going, oh, crud, I got to get there really quick. I've been doing it a while, so I get there fairly quickly. You probably, if you're newer, are lagging a little bit behind, and so that tells you exactly the places where you need to work. So, for example, as I was, where did I find myself fighting it a little bit? Where was it? Let's pretend that when I got to measure 4 and I all of a sudden I'm all worried about that B flat, and then oh gosh, I got to get an F and a C chord in real quick, and so I want to make a mental note of anywhere where I struggle on the paper, and then I want to go back and work just on that area. You don't need to work on the whole song if you're playing it well. Just go find your trouble spots and really dig into those and find out why was that a problem for me, and that's one of the things we're always trying to figure out is how to get rid of the problems. And so that we can play smoothly and efficiently and not be scared when we're playing. I play scared a lot because I don't practice enough, right? And so what we want to do is just practice a little bit more, find those trouble spots, work on those specifically. That's one of those things that when you're a newer musician, you're very inefficient in practicing. And as you get to be better at it and you realize you got a limited amount of time, you want to really dig into those places that are going to be the problem, get those memorized or as close to memorized as possible, just those little spaces, so that when you look down, you're like, oh yeah, it's that part I worked on last week. Then there's a sense of confidence that comes along with that. Okay, so I'd like to start. Let's go measure 15, and French just can't be. And let's start at measure 15. 1, 2, 3, 4. Found like a bridge, 2, 0, strum 3, F chord. Okay, this is a fun moment. Bar on 4, ring on middle on 5 probably, pinky on 7, and then come back to your A minor with your 3, slide up to 7. F chord. Let that ring just for a second and then go back to the top. And you're going to go back up to the top and play through that whole section again. Okay, so that part is beautiful, sounds really nice. The ukulele really is cooperating on that. And there's some moments that are kind of challenging, but it really should be something that's coming. That when we work on tough uke, initially, obviously you can't do it, but if you've been at this for a couple of weeks, probably that's going to be a piece that's going to sound pretty nice for you. Okay, second time through, you play through measure 20, then you're going to skip 21 through 24, and we're going to go to measure 25. Let's finish it out. By the way, it's about to get a lot tougher. Okay, from measure 25, 1, 2, 3, 4. D7 with the 3. Slide back. Okay, now this, I want to stop and talk very quickly about this cool moment here. Paul Simon didn't write this. I wrote it. It's cool. Okay, you are at measure 27. You're playing a A minor with the C on the top, right? 2003. Okay, that's measure 27. You're going to add your middle finger on to get 2023, which is the D7. And then the next moment, then by the way, on the original recording, they play for, I think it's 16 measures of blah, 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 before they go into the Sail on Silver Girl part. So I just got rid of all that. That's ridiculous. Okay. As a solo instrumentalist, you don't want that stuff. Then you take this and slide those 2 back. And now you got your F minor. Okay. That's what's cool. D7, F minor. How about that for precision? Okay. Kind of proud of that. All right, that's the level of nerdism that you're dealing with here. Just letting you know. Okay, let's go to measure 28. We got our, okay, we're going to be having this. Okay, that's where we're at. From measure 28, 1, 2, 3, 4, strum. Measure 38. Measure 44. Here's where things turn into a bit of a mess. Okay, so measure 47. What we're going to do, which is typical of Simon and Garfunkel, is to go way up the fretboard to get the rest of this, because you got Garfunkel hanging out, and he knows a little bit about singing, right? So he's going to take this way up to the next octave ish, and it's going to be beautiful. Okay, so he's going to go to this F chord, measure bar on 5, pinky on 8. Okay, that's really high up there. Now you've got 5, 5, 5, 7. Going to drop the either just replace your ring finger, and then you've got this great moment here where you're going to put this A shape on at the 5th fret. Okay, that's just not even supposed to be there, and it makes perfect sense. And then go to your 7th. This is another super cool moment. You've got this F chord on, bar on 5, pinky on 8. And you hit those 2 8s. Now, this makes no sense to go from an F down to this E chord. Okay, and then to even mess it up further, turn it into an E7. Okay, so that's what's going on in that measure. Super cool chord progression, a little bit hard to play. Okay, and then in measure 50, index on 2, pinky way up here on 7. We had this on the other song the other day. If you can't reach this position, just don't worry about this note and just play the bottom 3 strings. You can actually play all 4. You won't notice it that much, but if you can, pinky on 4 on the top, pinky on 2 on the 4th string, and then let me start and use English. I'm going to use my index finger, 4th string, 2nd fret, and pinky way out here on 7 on the 1st string. Okay, that's that moment where you're like, and then this is a very interesting chord. Measure 51. You're going to bar on 5. You're going to put a 6 here. So it looks like a 7th chord. Okay, so it's a bar on 5, middle finger on the 3rd string, 6th fret, and then your ring finger is going to come down here, 7th fret, 1st string. If you know the song, you know that's legit. Okay. That's a D9, whatever that is, okay? And then from there, once you get that, then you let that ring out, okay? That's where that fermata is. And then go 7, 5, and then put your F chord back on. Change it to a 7. Put that A shape on front. Back to the 7. And then nice F chord here. Slow down, because we want to make this beautiful. E7, G chord, and then C. Okay. And again, if you're real slow and dramatic on the ending, it'll make sense. It's different than the original recording where they kind of wander around for a while. Just be very diligent, very focused, and just make this as solid and as complete as possible. Like you are putting a period on the end of this sentence, and in your style, and it absolutely works. So I think that's going to work for you. Tanya says nice arrangement. Tanya is easy to impress. No, I actually think it's a good arrangement. I did this one. I don't know. I found it in the computer, and I don't know when I did it. It's been a couple of years, I think. I probably did it for a private student. I don't remember where it came from, but I was like, dang, I got this going on, right? And so again, on the original recording, those of you who grew up in the 60s and 70s, and as I did, this was sort of a big deal song for us. And and when we take a full song and we crunch it down onto our ukulele, sometimes we make some compromises. Sometimes those compromises are better than the original. And so just wanted you to have this one to get you started with this week. We'll end up with 5 songs from the 60s. One from the early 60s and the rest are from the later 60s. Interesting, the big transition and shift in thinking from that 50s mentality to the 70s mentality. And I think you're going to be delighted with everything that you have this week. Remember, you're playing at your level, not at anybody else's level. You can, if you're playing better than me, good for you. If you're playing worse than me, good for you. It doesn't matter. Find a level that makes sense for you. If just strumming and singing this, if you're a singer, do it. But what you're really here for is to shut your face, let the ukulele do the job, and then come back. And if you want to sing, you can always do that. But that's our goal here. Get you into different levels, find your level, and then push you up to whatever the next level is. And so hopefully this song will keep you busy tonight anyway, right? You guys have a wonderful night. We're going to shut it down. Fran, love this one. This might be my showcase piece. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Fran sold on this piece, so you should be too. Kat, beautiful. Thank you, Gary. You're welcome, Kat. Thanks for being here. Mike, I want to try this with my 8-string. Heck yeah, Mike. This, you get that jingle jangle of that 8-string on there. This is going to be absolutely beautiful. Deborah, have a wonderful day. Patty, thank you for being here. Kathy, beautiful. Yeah, guys, go home. Go get off the internet and go work on this. Well, go eat dinner first if you haven't had. Of course, if you're back east, you hopefully already had dinner. So, Mel, you still got more work to do before you can eat. So have a wonderful day, you guys. Delighted you could join me today, and I will see all of you tomorrow. And we're going to do Laura's theme from the movie Dr. Zhivago. It's beautiful. So I'll see you then. Renee, have a great night. Dora, great night. Thanks, Fran. Thanks, Leslie. Who else am I missing? Annie, Joyce, have a wonderful night, you guys. Louise, stay strong. Jerry, we'll see you soon. Bruce, don't rub it in how beautiful your weather is down there. Have a great day. Spirzo, glad you were here. Thanks for joining us today. Vicky, nice to see you. Lynn, have a wonderful day. Barbara, I'll catch you tomorrow. You guys have a wonderful night, and I'll see all of you tomorrow. I'm going to end the stream. Laurel, thank you. Off you go.